Hey, I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach. And, man, I got a new book coming out next year. I'm getting serious about a new podcast and a new virtual event I'm doing called Flip the Switch, how to activate the prey drive in you and your team. So I got a brand new podcast. I've done just a few episodes on this podcast, Flip the Switch, and we're bringing it to you today. I want to come into and speak into your life about the truth about your business. Because the purpose of the show of Flip the Switch is to activate the prey drive in you and your team. I think it's going to be an incredible podcast, and it's me using my 28 years of experience to find the primary activator of your drive. So when you're out there and you're watching this, if you follow me at all, you know that, man, I talk about prey drive a lot. Prey drive is an instinctual ability to see something with the eyes, optically or in the mind, and go get it. And so if you're out there watching the show today we're going to talk about how to hear the truth about your business, because I did a real life intervention in Jackson Hole, Wyoming last week with a door-to-door salesperson, and I came home and I told my wife, I think it could be the best thing that ever happened to this dude. And I'm going to talk about this today because sometimes in life, we need people to speak some truth into us. We need an expert to say, this is what you need to do. We need another person to give us permission. We need another person to activate something inside of us. And sometimes you don't want to hear it. We need another person to create some tension in our life that says, you need to do this. You are missing a tremendous opportunity, right? Think about 3 feet from gold, acres of diamonds, all of these concepts. Well, Flip the Switch is my version of what I've been doing for people over the last 28 years, which is activating a drive in people. All of this is going to gear up to an October 6th free webinar. Then I'm going to do another free webinar. And then I'm doing a full day boot camp on October 29th called Flip the Switch. How to become a legendary creature. How to become a monster producer. A full day on this concept. So today, the topic is hearing the truth about your business. Hearing the truth about your business. See, many people out there are going along about their life and they're just muddling along. They're just puddling along. They're just doing it and doing it and doing it, and they're going to work and they're going home and they're doing the same things every week, and there's no structure, there's no advancement, there's no prey drive activation. It's literally just they're getting a year older, but they're not getting a year better, man. To get better, you got to do something different, folks. And so I believe there are activators of prey drive. And prey drive, man, when that prey drive is activated, it is literally like the switch has been flipped in your life. Boom, Blake Weaver, and boom, Mike Doyle, and boom, Laura Savage. It's like, I'm ready to go. I'm playing too small. So I believe, this is what I'm writing in the book, Flip the Switch, is that there's activators of this drive in you. The activator may be competition, and I'll break that down. It could be embarrassment. It could be exposure. It could be fear of loss. It could be environment, right? We got to find the primary activator for you. And what's going to happen is that thing is going to flicker, right? Because there's three facets of this prey drive. There's an activation of it. Then there is a persistence to it, and then there is an intensity to it. I'd love to see your comments. If you're watching this live on Facebook, I see all the people out there watching it. I would love, Greg Kimball, where do you think people fall off the wagon? Because many times as a business coach, I have to speak a truth into a person's life. Man, they don't want to hear it. We had a guy today wanted to quit the program. He just got started in the program, and he answered the phone kind of in a low tone of voice. I said, man, you're going to have to get that energy up if you're going to talk to Coach Burt. And he's like, you're right. Boom, now his energy's high. Now I'm ready to go. Now I don't want to quit, right? I was making that phone call to speak some truth into his life, Greg Kimball, to say, look, I know you're overwhelmed. I know you're scared. I know you, right? I'm going to give you some courage today. The worst thing you can do is quit. You will have regret forever when you quit things, guys. When you have opportunity, Blake Weaver, you guys don't miss this. When you have opportunity and you don't take it, you regret it. When you know you have more potential and you don't pursue it, you regret it. When you know your business can do more than what it's currently doing and you're scared to take an action. What's my theory? When in doubt, take an action. Action is the cure for all fear. Fear is an unpleasant emotion created by a belief that something's going to harm me in the future. When in doubt, Mike Dole, take an action. When in doubt, pick up the phone. When in doubt, send a text. When in doubt, do this. So when you're thinking about the activator of Pray Drive, when I talk about Pray Drive, everybody always tells me it's inside me. It is inside of you. But many times, it has to be activated by something external. And sometimes that external is a coach speaking some truth into your life. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you playing here when you're capable of playing here? Why are you doing this level when you're capable of doing that? And so today I'm going to talk about this real life situation that I had in Jackson Hole, Wyoming last week. I was with Door-to-Door Experts, and I did two days of training with Door-to-Door Experts up in Ashton, Idaho. Beautiful. Teton Mountains, Jackson Hole. I went to Jackson Hole and spent a day. It's beautiful. I love those dudes. Well, at the end of my first day, they asked me to critique a manager giving feedback to a person. So we went through these scenarios. And they would say, well, how would you do this different? How would you use, right, the EOS here? How would you do this here? How would you do this? And then they brought a guy up who was a number 3 guy in his company, and he was good. Notice I said the word. What did I say, Jack? He was good, but he wasn't great. And I'm sitting there listening to the manager try to activate his Pray Drive, and he's using words like, well, I slack too much. I don't take it serious enough. I'm not engaged enough here. And I'm sitting back listening to the manager kind of coach him and ask him these probing questions, which I think is perfectly fine, right? He's asking kind of these probing questions. And the question is, why are you not doing this? And why are you not doing this? And why are you not doing this? And I finally said, look, I've heard enough of this bullshit, okay? Like I need to call you out on something, okay? And I'm going to do it in front of the group, because I needed to make a point here. I needed to activate his Pray Drive. What I heard was, I'm capable of more. I could do more. I should be doing more. But this, and this. And I finally said, look, quit lying to everybody, man. Number one person you're lying to is to yourself. You're sitting here telling everybody in the room, I want to be number one. I want to be good. I want to be great, excuse me. I'm already good. But you're not willing to back it up with action. A commitment is not a commitment unless it's backed up with resources and creativity. Like, you don't really have a commitment if you don't have any money in the deal. You're not committed to something. Watching me on YouTube is not a commitment to me coaching you, right? You can say, oh, you're my coach. No, I'm not your coach. Because if I was your coach, you would be in the room with me getting coached by me every week. And there's a big difference between watching me on YouTube and actually letting me coach you. Because what I may need to do to you is what I said this morning is, man, you didn't sign up to quit, did you? Like, you signed up because you wanted to work the muscle. You signed up because you wanted to be great. So what I'm doing there is, in that moment, I'm speaking some truth into that guy's life by creating a little bit of tension. And what does a good coach do? A good coach has conversations with you that you, may or may not want to have. They push you to do some things you may or may not want to do. Like I was thinking this morning when I was working out at F45, right? Jack, I was thinking this morning, man, there's a reason people don't get out of bed and do this, because it's hard. What am I looking for? Why would I push that hard? For the feeling of accomplishment that I felt when I left. I went not wanting to go. I woke up not wanting to go because Bud, my son, Elias, was up all night. Okay, so I woke up and I didn't want to go. And then I did go because I got a commitment to be there. Okay, because I'm a partner in the business. And I want to show up and I left there with the feeling of accomplishment. That was the feeling I needed. But to do it, I had to figure out a way to what? Flip the switch. Well, you sure don't flip the switch if you don't get out of bed. You sure don't flip the switch if you contract and retreat every time you get scared. You sure don't flip the switch if every time, right? So I'm sitting there doing this intervention with this guy, and it's really not an intervention. It's like I can sense, because of my coaching experience, Jack, that he wants to go to a higher level, right? I can sense it. But I can sense there's a vacillation there. There's a doubt there. It's like, man, I'm good. I'm making money. I'm doing good. Yeah, man, do you want to live a good life? An example I used at this retreat is, man, I've done the eulogy at least 2 funerals where I didn't have anything to say about the person. Do you know how hard it is to give a eulogy at a funeral, and you ask people around, like, what did they do? You ask coworkers, what did they do? You ask family members, what did they do? And nobody can tell you. Well, they didn't do anything. They were a good person. They kind of worked hard, and they showed up, and they were reliable. Is that what you want people to say about you at the end of your life? Come on, man. You want people to say, man, this dude was a game changer. This dude affected millions of people. This dude helped a lot of people. This dude created things. This dude was a person of interest. This dude was doing big things in the world. He was raising the level of consciousness in the world. That's what this dude. So what I did during this session is, man, I'm addressing the gap. And the gap to flip his switch is to be straight up. Look, man, quit lying. Quit lying to yourself. Quit lying to the group. Quit telling everybody you want to be great, because you're not interested in being great. You're interested in being number 3. Now, if you're interested in being number 3, keep doing what you're doing. But let's not go through this charade that you want to be number 1, because you're not willing to do what it takes to be number 1. It's that simple. You're not willing to show up for your coaching like you're supposed to. You're not willing to push as hard as you need to. You're not willing to go where you need to go, so quit lying to yourself. All progress starts by telling the truth. Boom. That's it. So what's my tactic as a coach? I'm trying to create some tension. I'm trying to speak some truth into his business, and I'm trying to say, quit lying and let's go there, right? I'm trying to awaken him from a slumber. I'm trying to create a sense of urgency. See, what are the parts of prey drive? It's one thing to get it activated. Shoot, I could activate your prey drive in a video. You can walk out there and go, man, my prey drive is activated. Now, how long will that prey drive last? Right? It's working that muscle. I was telling Natalie, my wife, last night about the health business. You got to have conversations every day about Monster Health. You got to talk to people every day and try to help them get on a path to health and wellness. You got to tell them about the nutrition plan. It is a daily battle. You know, I was flying back from Jackson Hole yesterday, and my little mind started to creep. Well, you know, man, I've been gone. Maybe I could just work from home. Maybe I could just take it easy a couple of days. Then maybe, you know what I mean, I got to go to Dallas this week and speak at 8% Nation, then to Phoenix for the Tim Story, Sharon Lecter, Greg Kimball, Doug Wood tour. And my little brain, my Weasley little lazy brain was trying to talk me out of coming to work today. And I'm like, no, man. Number 1, my team needs me because I've been out of the office for 5 or 6 days. Number 2, the people need me. And number 3, I believe in a rhythm. You get out of rhythm when you don't do what you need to do every single day. So when we come back, segment number 2, I'm going to talk about the outcome of that tension that I created to flip his switch. I'm going to talk about the activator I used. And, man, this is going to be great. I want to put a date on your calendar, October 6th. I'm going to be doing Flip the Switch. Right? There's couple big things coming. October 6th, I'm going to be doing a full day, a webinar that night. October 29th, I'm doing a full day virtual boot camp. And then the next day, 30th and 31st, Jack, I'm doing the in-person boot camp at the lodge. Man, it's going to be a flip the switch week. When you come back, I'm going to show you exactly what happened when I created this tension and spoke some truth into this guy's business. I'm Coach Michael Burt, and you're watching Flip the Switch.
Flipped the switch. I didn't know what to expect, but it definitely did what it was supposed to. It flipped that switch.
Coach Burt is the real deal.
It's very impactful. You know, he looks you in your eyes and he makes sure he gets his point across.
When he's making a connection to you, the connection is real.
Love the fact that we were all able to come together, learn from one another.
He exceeded my expectations beyond my wildest dreams.
You know, I think there's a gear inside of people that many people have not found. There's a switch that has not been flipped. I'm writing a new book that's going to come out in 2021, and in the interim, we're putting together boot camps to test the ideas. This weekend was my first Flip the Switch boot camp, and it was incredible. The only thing I know to say, it was absolutely incredible. Think of it as success camp. Think of it as 24 hours with me on what I would teach myself if I was 20 years old again. Everything I've learned in 44 years of living. Incredible boot camp. Thank you to all the people that came. I can't wait to do another one. Welcome back, folks. Flipping the switch today, activating the prey drive in you and your people. That's the title of a new book I have coming out in 2021. Hopefully be in all the bookstores, all the airports, national book deal. That's the plan. And so we're starting the machine for that. I'm doing a podcast as much as I can on Flip the Switch. That's the title of the book, How to Activate the Prey Drive in You and Your People. Josh Harrell. It's fantastic, man. That was our word this morning at F45, Jack. How's it going? Fantastic. When things don't go your way, just say it's fantastic. It's magically fantastic. It's fantastical. Today we're talking on Flip the Switch. Hear the truth about your business. Here's the truth about your business. The business needs attention. Your life needs attention. Your potential needs attention. Okay? And when you don't give it attention, you get lazy. See, this is what I wrote down in my notes. Biggest problem with America right now, the biggest problem with America right now is that they're good. You're good, man. You're good. Everything's good. You got a good life. You got a good house. You got a good wife. You got good kids. You got a good income. Great, man. At the end of your life, you want to say, hey, man, I was good. Dude was a good dude. Or do you want to say, man, that dude changed the game? I'm interested in changing the game. So if you're out there and you're watching this today, this is the podcast, Flip the Switch. I got a webinar I'm doing October 6th, 5:30 p.m., how to activate and reactivate your Prey Drive every day. That's going to lead up to a couple free webinars to I do I think a $57 full day boot camp. It's ridiculous, man. Ought to be $1,057, but it's going to be $57 on October 29th. I want 500 people on that webinar. Jack, the whole month of October, it's all I'm talking about. Boom, 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 boom. Flip the switch. That's it. I'm going to go 21 days of videos, just like I did Fight the Funk. It's going to be 21 days of Flip the Switch. 21 days of activating the Prey Drive, and I'm going to tackle a subject every single day. So, Prey Drive is an instinct. It's prevalent in animals, specifically dogs. Dog has a prey drive. It is the dog's instinct to see something, stalk it, capture it, and go get it. You have a prey drive inside of you. That prey drive many times has to be activated by something external. Between stimulus and response is a space. So I'm in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, coaching door-to-door experts. They were the best people in the world. We were doing role play. They brought me up to intervene with the person and listen, and the dude's talking about how he wants to be great. And I'm like, no, you don't want to be great. Quit lying to yourself, man. This is BS. What you're telling me ain't true. What you're saying versus what you're doing is not lining up with each other, which is a big problem with a lot of people, by the way. So my tactic as a coach was to address the gap between what he was saying versus what he's doing. You need to hear this, folks, because I believe the dude could be number one. I don't know, because I don't know him that well. But everybody was telling me about how good he was and about what kind of potential he had, right? Like, that's what people were telling me. And so I'm sitting there thinking, if this dude has this kind of potential, and if this is true, then my job as the coach is to activate something inside of him. And the way I'm going to activate is I'm going to call him out. I'm an authority figure. He knows I'm an authority. And so I, boom, address the gap. I call out the BS. I create some tension. I awaken him from a slumber. I create a sense of urgency. Because look at Prey Drive. It's activation, it's persistence, it's intensity. Where he's missing is all three. His Prey Drive hasn't been activated. There is no intensity to it. There is no intensity to it or persistence to it. So he's getting to a level. That's called a ceiling. He's getting to a level, and then he's getting comfortable. So what I wrote down in my notes is real simple. The biggest problem we got in America is comfort. It's complacency. It's comfort and complacency. I'm good. I don't want to get any better. I got to go through that to have that feeling of accomplishment I talked about at F45 this morning. Therefore, I will stay here. Satisfied needs never motivate people. Only unsatisfied needs. You will never get to another level in your life until you get dissatisfied with the current level you have. Okay, I was like, we got some new houses in the subdivision, Jack. I'm out walking around. I'm looking at them houses. I told my wife, I'm like, dang, we got a nice house, right? We got a nice house, probably 1.4, 1.5. They putting these new houses in there. I'm like, man, maybe we ought to go back and tweak a few things, add a little something. It activated my Prey Drive, man. Being out in Wyoming, Jackson Hole, seeing the world, activated my Prey Drive, activated my creative spirit. What you got to do, folks? And I'll talk about this because this is very critical, is a lot of people say don't compare. Don't compare yourself to other people. I totally disagree. The concept of comparison is you should compare up. You should look at people that are doing bigger things than you So that inspires you to want to do bigger things. You shouldn't look at people down there that are doing smaller things than you and say, man, I'm good compared to that dude. That dude's way down there. He ain't doing anything. This is a trap. This is totally a trap. Right? Like I could compare myself to other people and say, oh, I got this coaching business figured out. I'm doing good. We're generating revenue. We're generating customers. It's all good. And no, I look at a dude running a $50 million coaching company or a $100 million coach, and I say, we ain't good. We ain't even close to where we're capable of doing. Now, I had a person last night, because you guys know I'm a faith-based person, and there was a person that watches me, said, man, I watch everything, and you said in your video that praying won't do it for you. Praying won't do it for you. Faith without action, nothing's going to happen in your life if you don't take an action, man. Read the Bible, okay? Faith with action, okay? What I mean is you just can't pray and say, God, help me to manifest this business here. Okay, I love when T.D. Jakes preaches on this. T.D. Jakes didn't make this desk right here. Excuse me, God didn't make this desk right here. You know what? He gave you the wood. Isn't that good, Jack? He didn't make the desk, folks. He gave you the wood. You got to make the desk, okay? And I think some people hide behind that. It's like, well, I prayed for my business to be successful, but it ain't successful. I prayed for my husband to get some motivation, but he didn't get any motivation. I prayed for everything to work out, but it didn't work out. Okay, here's the deal, man. I'm a big believer in faith with action. Faith with action. So what I'm trying to do with this pray drive is say, look, man, good is the worst place you could be. Okay, I agree. I heard Grant Cardone say this once. When he first made $1 million, he figured out how little of money that was. In comparison to a person that's got 10,000 or 5,000, it is a lot of money. But when you really try to do big things in the world and you really need a lot of capital, it ain't anything, man. And that's really what I figured out when I made my first $1 million. I'm like, dang, the world leads you to believe when you make $1 million, you've done something big. Well, guess what? It depends in comparison to what? In comparison to what are you trying to do? Well, if you need 10 million, $1 million ain't that much. So I think what I wrote in my notes here, Jack, is the real problem in America is comfort and complacency. It's gradual settling to a place of mediocrity, right? I don't want my kids to gradually settle to a place of mediocrity. I don't want a complacent marriage. I don't want a complacent business. Therefore, I need my pray drive activated and reactivated every day, folks. I need a person to speak into my life and going, what are you doing? How long are you going to talk about this? When are we going to take action on this? When am I going to see you back it up? So here's the real problem. No grit, no drive, no energy, no motivation. And so what people are doing is they're muddling along. And that dude who's number 3 is saying, I'm good because I'm way ahead of all those other bozos, okay? I got a no bozo rule in my life, folks. Okay? I'm not dealing with bozos. Either you want to level up or you don't. Leveling up means getting uncomfortable. Okay? That's what I'm good. I've got a good job. Everything's good, okay? Part of flipping the switch in a person is me saying directly to that dude, I see something in you. I can feel it. I can sense it, okay? I can sense it. But I got to figure out some way to activate something inside of you that's dormant right now. It could be your own little bitty tiny thinking, okay? So let's wrap it up, Jack. October 6th, I'm doing a webinar. It's going to be free. It's going to be how to activate the pray drive in you every day. I realize the world struggles with motivation. I would be lying to you if I told you there wasn't days that I don't struggle with motivation. Everybody struggles with motivation. I didn't want to get up and go to F45 this morning, but I did. And I got that feeling of accomplishment, which makes me want to go back tomorrow and get it again and again and again. Actually, when I was out in Jackson Hole, I was craving it, Jack. I was craving that accountability. I was craving that. Okay, so what happens is then when you start working the muscle and getting the feeling you have and getting stronger and looking better, you crave it. I need that accountability. I need that coach. I need that person in my life. I need that grit. I need that drive. I need that motivation. I need it. I can't live without it because I don't want to go back to the old me. I got a new me. So if you don't have a person in your life who's creating that tension, for those of you that are watching me, I guarantee, man, you want to do something bigger. You wouldn't be watching me. You wouldn't be following me. You wouldn't be interested in me if you didn't have the seed of something inside of you saying, I want to play. I'm tired of playing small. In comparison to what, right? You think you're playing big in comparison to who? There's always somebody doing it bigger and better and faster and stronger than you, and that's who you need to be modeling yourself after. not getting advice from people that have given up on their dreams. So mark the date, October 6th. Got more information coming on that. We'll be putting it out all over the world. If tomorrow night you're in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, right, at Greatness Factory, I will be here teaching the SOS, Save the Small Business Owner. We are live streaming that around the world. There's already hundreds of people that are on that. There'll be people in the room. Let me give you every tactic I got, for free, by the way. Let me get in there and coach you up for a little bit. Let me activate the pray drive in you, man. Okay, I had a guy tell me this morning, man, ain't nobody got any money. They ain't nobody got any money. Well, they sure as heck ain't going to have any money if they don't learn how to generate revenue. And when your back's against the wall, you got to try a new tactic and new strategy. So, SOS tomorrow night, right? October 6th, free webinar on Flip the Switch, how to activate, reactivate the drive every day. If you're looking for the coaching program, just say, man, I'm interested. I'm interested in leveling up, Coach Burt. I want to level up and play up toward my potential. I'm Coach Michael Burt. I'm the Super Coach, and you've been listening to Flip the Switch. I just finished the Monster Growth Boot Camp at my lodge, and man, was it probably the best boot camp I've ever done. People will tell you, when they get in that room, magic happens.
It's like going to a Bruce Springsteen concert. He gave us more than I was expecting. I went to a concert one time with him, and it was 4 hours long, which was unusual. Coach Burt put his heart and soul into this thing.
It's an amazing experience because he brings so much energy, so much passion, and he always gives 120%.
Being coached by Coach today was fantastic.
Coach Burt has always helped me maximize my potential and go just above and beyond.
Being coached by Coach is one of the best investments that I've made in my life.
Coach is intense, and there's really nothing like being in the room with him.
If you do not know anything about Coach Burt, he's the people's coach.
He gives you the encouragement, super positive. I mean, what's not to like?
The people were hungry. The environment was incredible and electric. The content was so rich and powerful. You see, I spent 2 days breaking down the entire Monster Growth system. How do you activate your pray drive? How do you explain your services in a world-class way? How do you generate leads through a selling system? How do you follow up like crazy? How do you become a person of interest? How do you extract referrals out of your current clients? For 2 days, we broke each part of that methodology down with real-life examples, practical frameworks, exercises for people to do. And people left there, man, on fire. It was incredible. If you get a chance to come to my lodge, spend 2 days with me. Let me break these concepts down. Monster Growth Boot Camp at my lodge, one of the best experiences of my life.